And we are live once again. Welcome, weary travellers. Don't mind me, I'm getting my dice out of my bag. And it's the panda set. Very much love my little panda dice. Once again, this, for those people watching in the future, this will just be preamble, or me ramble, as we wait for people to actually join our live here on TikTok. Once again, music by the Features. Enjoying a absurdly healthy monster, but as you can see, one of my Dungeons and Dragons straws that I got from a Comic-Con blind bag last year. Don't mind me doing my little awkward turtle face. I will just say a little recap for the lives that we've done so far. We've done an overview of D&D, we've done an overview of character creation, and last week we went on to overview of the classes, starting with a barbarian. Bear with me, I'm moving my camera. And today we are going to cover the bard. I think we will get into it in just a second. I think, to be honest, we're going to get started. So I did say at the beginning in our last live, I do have a little post-it to remind myself. We'll be able to read that because it's backwards. But for every class, when you get to level 4, level 8, 12 and 16, you get to increase your ability score. So you can increase one score by 2, or two scores by 1, or choose a feat, as long as you have the prerequisites for it. So yeah, I'm not going to go through every single one and go the bard at level 4, the bard at level 8, the bard at level 12, and with each subsequent class, because it'll just get boring. But yeah, I'll just I will remind each at the beginning of each class live that, you know, that's one of the things that you get once you level up. So today we are going to cover the bard. Some may argue that bards need to be covered at all times if they are the stereotypical horn dogs, but you can play a bard however you want. They are a magic class. So the barbarian last week, they don't have, I think, is it the Path of the Wilds? I think it was the Path of the Wilds, and they get access to a couple of ritual spells, but the bard is the first class that has, they get up to 9th level spell slots, and I'm not going to go through all the spells that the bard can go through, because it is a lot. It would be very boring for me to list off a bunch of spells, what they do, the components, and everything like that, and it's going to be boring for you guys to listen to as well. So, but I will go through everything else that you do get. So at level 1, you get access to your bardic inspiration. You get a number of bardic inspiration equal to your charisma modifier. Yeah, so say you had a charisma of 18, you would have a modifier of 4, so you would be able to you'd have 4 uses of bardic inspiration before you had to wait for it to reset at a long rest. And this is something that bards do. You can inspire with words, music, song, anything like that, and your allies can roll that die. It starts as a d6. So D6, it does increase to a D8, to a D10, D12 as you level up as well. But once, if your allies are making a check or a save or anything like that, they can roll the D20. If they think it's going to fail, you can roll your bardic inspiration, add that to the total, and hopefully that will boost it just enough for it to succeed. You also, the charisma, so the number of bardic inspirations that you get is based on your charisma modifier, and the charisma ability is the score that is for their spellcasting ability. I don't know where my brain is right now. Maybe I haven't had enough Monster. Maybe that's it. I can always use a little bit more caffeine. But at level 1, you do get access to a couple of spells. So cantrips, they're things that you can use all the time. You don't need to expend any spell slots. You also do get a couple of first level spells at level 1. And the PHB actually does give a couple of recommendations. And that would be Dancing Lights and Vicious Mockery, which arguably bards are most known for. So Dancing Lights, you can create up to 4 torches and move them around at will. This lasts for a minute, but like I said, cantrips, you can cast them again and again and again. So if the cantrip runs out, Dancing Light runs out, then it can you can just cast it again. Vicious Mockery, so you basically hurl insults at your enemies and they gain a 1d6 psychic damage. So again, that's that little dude right there. And then they have disadvantage on their next attack. In the 2014 version, they did have the die was a d4 instead of a d6, so they've slightly increased that. And as you level up, then the number of dice that you get to roll for your Vicious Mockery damage does increase as well. And like I said, the spells that you get to choose from, there are a lot. I'm not going to be going through all of them because, like I said, it would just be really, really boring to listen to me list all the spells and what they do. But there's a good mix of, there's illusionment, enchantment, quite a few healing spells in there because the bard does tend to be a support class. You know, they are kind of on the sidelines, they are inspiring their teammates, they're inflicting, kind of like casting doubt on their enemies, offering the odd healing word, but also casting illusions and stuff to kind of make it so that the tide of battle is in their favour. And when you do level up regarding spells, you get to change the spells that you choose. So, for example, say you have the same spells for quite a few levels, and then you think, oh, I've not used this one since I chose it, I can swap it out. So you can do that on each level up. When you get to level 2, you get access to Jack of all trades, which means you can add half of your proficiency to any ability that you're not proficient in. So say you're not proficient in athletics, you get to add another 1 to that, because at level 2 your proficiency is +2, which does scale as you level up. And then again, you could use, if you're not proficient in Arcana, or if you're not proficient in Nature, anything like that, you can add half your proficiency and add that to the roll as well. Level 3, you get to choose your subclass. As with the Barbarian, the Bard now has 4 subclasses. In the 2014 version, they had the College of Valor and the College of Law, but now they've added College of Dance and College of Glamour as well. So we'll get to those in a little bit. But I think most classes now have 4 subclasses. So I think that's increased some and decreased others. At level 5, you get your font of inspiration. So instead of getting your inspiration back on just a long rest, you get it back on a short rest as well. So, excuse me. Like I said before, if you had a charisma score of 18, your modifier would be a 4, and you would have access to 4 uses of bardic inspiration, and then you'd be able to get that back on a short rest instead of waiting for a long rest. At level 7, you get access to counter charms. So as a reaction, you can help an ally or a friend in battle that has been charmed or frightened, and they get to re-roll the save with advantage. So hopefully that means that they will make the save rather than fail it. Level 10, you get magic secrets, so you can choose spells from cleric, druid and wizard spell list, as well as the bard as well. And then, yeah, so you get to choose from the cleric, druid or wizard spell list, not just the bard. Level 18, you get superior inspiration. So when you roll initiative, you can regain some of your uses of bardic inspiration. Like with the barbarian, you could roll and regain some uses of your rage. Level 19, as again with the barbarian, you get an epic boon. And I did make a note of that somewhere. Yes, so an epic boon, or you can choose a feat of your choice. It is up to you. And the player's handbook suggests that you take the boon of spell recall. So that would be an increase to your intelligence, wisdom or charisma by 1 point for a maximum of 30, and you get access to free casting. So when you cast a spell between level 1 and 4, you roll your d4, and if it lands on the same, if the roll on the die lands on the same level of the spell slot is not expended. So if you're rolling a level 3 spell and you roll a 3 on the die, then you are able to keep the spell slot, you don't have to spend it at all. And then level 20, you get words of creation. So you're able to have access to power word kill and power word heal. They're always prepared. So power word heal, you're able to, I was going to say the ally or enemy, but you're not exactly going to be wanting to heal an enemy unless you have any other ulterior motives. But any allies that you heal, that you use power word heal on, their HP is fully restored. Conditions are erased, like poisoning or paralysis, and if they're prone, they can use their reaction to stand up rather than using some of their movement to stand up. And power word kill is if the target that you are casting power word kill on has 100 hit points or fewer, then they just die instantly. And if they don't, if they have more than 100 points of health, then they then receive 12 d12. So this, roll 12 times, and that is 12 d12 psychic damage. And in the 2014 version, it just nothing happened. If your target had more than 100 points of HP, then nothing would happen. But they've introduced the 12d12 psychic damage, and I kind of like that, because just for example, if your enemy had 110 points of damage, and if you rolled really, really, really well on each of your d12, statistically unlikely, but you could still kill them outright anyway. Plus, I mean, what's better than the sound of this? Dice. If you couldn't tell, I am a dice goblin, and this is one of my many sets that I have. Also, when you cast power word, when you cast these, you can target a second creature within 10 feet of the first creature. So then that's expended. It travels. It chains. You get from one to another. And I feel like I have really just sped through that, because I feel like the barbarian was more in depth, but like I said, there was less spell work for the barbarian. Like the Path of the Wilds had a couple of ritual spells, but the bard, there is a lot of spells to choose from. But now we're gonna move on to the subclasses. Like I said, there is the College of Dance, College of Glamour, College of Lore, Lore, not Law, and the College of Valor. So the College of Dance, these bards gain their magic from the way that they're able to move their body in harmony with the cosmos, and that is taken straight from the PHB. I didn't come up with that myself. Level 3, they get access to dazzling footwork. So when you're bard at level 3, if you choose this college, if you're not wearing any armor or not using any shields, you get access to roll with advantage on charisma saves and charisma checks. You also get unarmored defense. So like monks and barbarians, your AC would be 10 plus your dexterity, and your constitution. So, for example, if you had a dexterity and constitution both of 16, you would have an AC of 16, because 2 3s make 6, add to 10, that's an AC of 16. You also get agile strikes, so you can make an unarmed, so when you bestow Bardic Inspiration on one of your allies, you can make a bonus unarmed strike, and you also get to use your dexterity rather than your strength for unarmed strikes, because as bards tend to be the support classes, like I said before, and unarmed strikes use strength rather than dexterity. Advantage on charisma because I have good feet. Wow, I didn't realise we were just playing footsie. Well, you know, bards be barding. If I was, I mean, you know, in real life, the bard is not the class that I would choose. Dexterity is definitely my dump stat. I am so clumsy, and if I was going to be a bard, it would not be the College of Dance because I have 2 left feet. Level 6 in this college, you get Inspiring Movement. So as a reaction, when an enemy finishes their turn within 5 feet of you, you can use up to half of your movement to get away, but you can also bring an ally with you. So if you were surrounded by, say, 3 or 4 enemies, that'd be good because it doesn't allow opportunity attacks, especially, say, if you were surrounded by, if you had, oh, I just forgotten. Have my little combat map. So say if you were there and your ally was there and you had enemies here, normally if you were going to move you would take 3 opportunity attacks each from one of these enemies. But if you're going to use the Inspiring Movement, you can use it as a reaction and you would not incur opportunity attacks either for you or for your ally. Also, when you roll initiative, so at level 6, your inspiration die would be a d8, and when you roll initiative, you can expend a bardic inspiration and roll the d8, and whatever you get on that die, yourself and up to, any allies within 30 feet of you get to add what you rolled on the die and add it to their initiative. So say you rolled a 7, everyone would get a +7 to their initiative score, which can really be helpful. I know that my my little cleric, Erin, RIP, her initiative was terrible and she got a -1 because her dexterity was 8. So I was nearly always last in combat, which was really frustrating. Not looked into the 2020 Bard subclass yet. No, I haven't either. To be honest, I've not really looked at the Bard much. I always feel like I wouldn't be able to do the Bard justice because I'm not that witty. I do have my moments, but it takes me a while to get warmed up wit-wise, and I think like to be a Bard and to do them justice, you'd have to be fairly witty yourself. So at level 14, you get Leading Evasion. So when you have to roll the dex save, if you make the dex save, you don't take any damage rather than just taking half. I think that's kind of like the rogue's evasion. Don't need to be witty, just hip thrust, D's nuts jokes and you're golden. I mean, yeah, but considering the people that I play with, I do play with family members, so it's just not for me. But if I find another table, I might give that a go. So the next college is next subclass is the College of Glamour, and these magics span from traces of the origins of the Feywild. So level 3, these bards get Beguiling Magic, and they always have Charm Person and Mirror Image prepared. And Charm Person, it does exactly what it says on the tin. You can charm a person, it lasts up to an hour, or until the person that you have charmed is damaged. So if they take a hit, then they're not charmed anymore, and as soon as they come out of that state, they know that it's you that charmed them. Also, Mirror Image, you cast 3 3 clones of yourself, and within battle there's a higher chance for the clones to get hit rather than you, so you don't take any damage. Any spell that is of the enchantment and illusion school, whenever you cast that, enemies that are within 60 feet of you need to make a save, otherwise they are either charmed or frightened by you, and you can only use that once per long rest. So once you cast it, you won't be able to use it again. But you know, it's helpful. They're charmed and frightened, less likely to hit you again. At level 3, you also get Mantle of Inspiration. So as a bonus action, you can expend one of your inspiration die. So at level 3, your inspiration die would be a d6. You can roll that, and allies within 60 feet of you up to equal of your modifier. So again, if you had a charisma of 18, you would have a modifier of 4. So 4 allies within 60 feet of you, you roll this, double what you get, and then that gives your allies temporary hit points. So again, good support class, aiding in giving extra hit points. Still not used to lives. You would think I would be right by now. But yes, so it's, you know, good support, increasing hit points, and giving aid to allies. Level 6, you get the Mantle of Majesty. So the spell command is always prepared, and again, does exactly what it says on the tin. So you can choose from the following words: approach, drop, flee, grovel, and halt. And the enemies will do things. Will do that. Approach, they will move towards you. Halt, they'll stop in their tracks. Drop, they'll fall prone. In the 2014 version, there were like more words. These words were just examples, basically. And if you used a word that wasn't on this list, then the DM would describe what the target would do. So if you were going to go as rules as written for the 2024, these are the only words that you can use. But I mean, you know, you can always ask your DM. You can choose a word, ask your DM, and see what they say. You know, rule of cool is a thing, so you don't always have to be rigid and stick to the rules. I wouldn't say rules are there to be broken, but sometimes rules are there to be broken. So yeah, so you can. So command is always it's always prepared, but you can only use it once per long rest, or if you expend a level 3 slot, you can get it back again. Level 14, you get Unbreakable Majesty. So you can use a bonus action to transform yourself into something completely majestic. It lasts for a minute, so outside of combat it wouldn't be great. But inside of combat, don't forget that rounds are 6 seconds long. So assuming that you last the whole minute, you would get 10 rounds of this, and when an enemy tries to attack you, they need to make a charisma save. And if they fail, they miss, because your majesty is just so splendid, they can't abide to hit you. The next, we have the College of Lore, again, L-O-R-E. And these bards get their magic from gaining knowledge, basically. You'll find them in libraries, in universities, and swapping knowledge with other bards and things like that. Sounds a bit like a sanctuary spell. The Unbreakable Majesty. I feel like I really need to study the spells more, because I don't really play spellcasters that much. So, but I will take your word for it. Where was I? I've lost my train of thought. Okay, so College of Law. Apologies. Level 3, you get proficiency in 3 more ability, 3 checks of your choice, 3 skills of your choice. Oh, I said before, my brain's all over the place today. My bad, you were talking about law bards. Yeah, it's fine. My head's been a bit mashed at work, so it's fine. Been losing my train of thought all day. It's choo left the station. But yeah, so level 3, you get proficiency with 3 skills of your choice, and you also get access to cutting words. So as a reaction, you can, when within 60 feet, it's Friday, it's acceptable. It is Friday. It's been a long time coming. This is just Monster, by the way, I promise. So cutting words is a reaction when enemies within 60 feet of you make an attack, then you can use cutting words, roll one of your bardic inspiration, which at level 3 would be d6. So you can roll it and then subtract the total from the enemy's attack, fingers crossed, hoping for a fail. So you could potentially protect one of your allies. At level 6, you gain magic discoveries, so you can choose 2 spells of your choice from the cleric, druid, or wizard spell list, and those are always prepared for you. At level 14, you get Peerless Skill, so when failing a check or a roll, you can use an inspiration and then add the roll to that, again, hopefully increasing your odds of a success. And I think the final college, yes, the final college is College of Valor. So these bards are all about storytelling. They travel the world, they keep stories of heroes gone by, they keep their stories alive, their memories alive, and they do this in the hope to inspire a new generation of bards, and potentially hoping to earn themselves the moniker of hero for themselves someday. And at level 3, College of Valor bards get combat inspiration. So when you give an ally combat inspiration, they can use it to increase their DC, their AC temporarily. So when they get attacked, roll their inspiration die, and they get to add that to their AC to make them harder to hit. Similarly, when you get when they attack, they can basically just add that to their attack roll. Favorite bard was a recurring character NPC. Started with Stormwreck. I do love we do love a helpful NPC in this house. On tenterhooks, waiting for the rest of this. You showed up in Barovia. I mean, we've not played Curse of Strahd for absolutely ages, and there's only 3 players at the time. We could have done with a helpful NPC. Valaki. All I'm going to say is Valaki. Getting more renown in the inns and towns. That sounds like the epitome of a College of Valor bard. Roving the world, telling stories, gaining stories of their own. But first he didn't do much, but in the next campaign he was the hero that slew Strahd in his own castle. How true was that story? That's what I want to know. It's all good being not quite a Deus Ex Machina for an NPC, but cheeky little bard if they're going round telling stories, you know, kind of being in the background, and then in the next campaign, Rose 26 Deception, you believe every word. God damn it! That's not fair. Although College of Valor, did they have martial training? Because if they did have martial training and they were saying they were scared, shame. Bardic shenanigans. Oh, there are always shenanigans when a bard's involved. Always shenanigans. So shenanigan? It's like I have already shenaned twice today. I have shenaned once, I will shenan again. Yes. So, College of Valor, to continue with level 3, you also get martial training. So you get proficiency with martial weapons and medium armour and shields. College of Eloquence. I don't think that was in the normal... I don't think that was in the standard player's handbook. I don't think so anyway. And I don't think I have the 2014 version with me. God damn it. I am usually prepared, believe it or not. So, at level 6, for the College of Valor, you get an extra attack, which does exactly what it says on the tin, you get to attack again. And level 14, you get battle magic. So after casting a spell, you're able to make an unarmed attack with as a bonus action. So you can cast a spell on either side of the map and then attack as a bonus action. And I think that's it. That's all the notes I have for our lovely little bards. It was with the Odyssey of Theros book. Oh, the College of Eloquence. He was a satyr as well. Very nice. Showing up in Barovia and wrecking Strahd shit. I feel like I've sped through that. Then again, I don't think the barbarian was that long. I think the first 2 lives that I did were quite a bit longer, but I do want to kind of keep the classes by themselves, but you know, quicker lives. Thank you. That was very informative. Thank you. I'm glad it was informative. I'm glad that my mishmash of a brain didn't make it seem too complicated. But I think after this live, I may go and just watch some TV with some popcorn, because that sounds like a chill, calm thing to do. Is there anything else that you would like me to go over? Any other questions? Passes snacks and hydration to all dice goblins. All dice goblins definitely need hydration. I don't think anybody drinks enough water. I say with my monster. Yes, the cleric will be next on the list. It will be next week, but it will be the week after. I won't be able to go live next week, but that will just give me extra time to make my notes on the cleric and hopefully make it sound more coherent as well. So speaking of dice goblins, it's just an excuse for me to show off, basically. I have my big D20, but teeny tiny dice inside. I'm not sure if you can see that well, but they are literally just teeny tiny dice. I did take this to work one day, and one of my co-workers, she thought they were adorable. She picked them out of my hands, and my heart was in my mouth the entire time. Tiny dice, yes. And I just remember thinking, please, please do not drop them, because if you drop them, I'm never finding them again. She didn't drop them though, which was, I'm very, very glad. She has expressed wanting to play D&D, so who knows? I may actually be able to, release my inner bard if I'm able to get a party together with her. That's a deadly D4 right there. Very, very. Because if you stood on that, that's definitely going right inside your foot. Oof. I mean, I'm not wearing shoes right now, and it's just making me curl my toes thinking about it, to be honest. Ugh. Also, I do have another couple of sets of dice. Just an excuse to show off some of my dice collection. They're like a spinny dice. So I've got the D20, 10 and percentile, and D8 on this side. Instant 3 piercing damage. I mean, just increase that, like 1d4 plus 100 piercing damage. I know that I'd definitely be a wuss if I stood on that. And I've got the D12, D6 and D4 on this side. It's very shiny, so I'm not entirely sure you can see it with the ring light behind. And it's still going. It's still spinning for days. Okay, if we roll the D12, what do we get? I think that's a 5. But I don't know how accurate it is because I'm holding it up. It's very satisfying to watch. Basically, it's like an inbuilt fidget spinner. Thinking about that, for our next Avernus session, which isn't for ages, but for our next Avernus session, I might use that for the death rolls. That might be interesting. Don't mind me, I'm just thinking of all the ways I can make the Avernus campaign worse for my players. Or did I say worse? I meant better. I promise. But I think I'm going to end the live there, unless anybody else has any other questions. Planning on a lot of player character deaths? No, not at all. Well, not yet, maybe. Depends on how annoying the players are. If any of my players do watch this, I'm a nice DM, I promise. But I'm thinking Avernus is going to be shaping up to be as brutal as Icewind. The last two sessions of Icewind, we've lost 3 characters, and they weren't just dead; they were dead. So one of them was my cleric included. Oh, R.I.P. Erin. But here's hoping that your wife will take up your mantle. What's the party consisting of? So, Avernus. I'm running Avernus as a DM. We have. I'm trying to remember because it's a party of 7. There's 7 players. It's a nightmare to schedule, but we have a rogue, a warlock, a fighter, a wizard, a ranger, a druid, and a paladin. Yeah, 7. It's a nightmare. We've not played for about a month, and we're not going to be playing for another month and a half because trying to get schedules to line up is an absolute nightmare. Paladin for the win. In our Icewind sessions, originally the party was a cleric, a fighter, and 2 fighters? 2 fighters and a sorcerer. We are now a druid fighter. My character is monk barbarian multi-class, and the player who lost his character last session, I'm not sure what he's going to be, so we're playing next Wednesday actually, so we will find out then. But yeah, so there's four players in Icewind, and that's a lot easier to for our schedules to line up. But yeah, seven players is a nightmare. And at one point I was thinking that there was another person that I could add to the chaos. I'm not entirely sure if we'd ever get our schedules to line up ever again. But anyway, I am going to have to end the live there. Thank you to everyone who has watched and contributed. I have enjoyed our conversations, and the shenanigans that the bard will bring to any table would be worth it. Again, myself, I don't think I could play a bard if it was just going to be hip thrusts and D's nut jokes, especially when I play with family. that's not for me. But if you wanted more carnage, I'd be happy to throw my hat into the ring. I mean, more carnage for Ravenous. I'm not sure that our table could handle it, but we are going to be starting some one-shots soon, so I might give you a shout. But thank you again to everyone who's watched live, and I'm going to leave it there for today. So thanks again. Bye.